Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. It's 5:01 out here in the West. Let me just get my shots out the way. Shout out to Ticket TV, both basketball updates. Hold on. Shout out to Ticket TV. Shout out to Pro Basketball Updates. Shout out to the boy Too Raw for TV. Shout out to Too Raw for Sports. Everybody that I'm saying, go subscribe to my brother's channels. Shout out to the LB Sports Channel of LB. I forgot his other account is, but his other YouTube page. But shout out to my boy Greenleaf Exclusives. Go subscribe to my brother. Shout out to Lulu, Lemon Pepper Lou. You know, Lou the sports writer. Subscribe to him. Subscribe to Polo, aka now his new name is Straight to the Point. Shout out to Showtime on Point. You know, shout out to that brother as well. Straightway Georgia. Go subscribe to Elder. Shout out to my boy Will Strong, the Will Strong Show. Shout out to him. Subscribe to his channel as well. Time out Mr. Moss was good. My bro. Go subscribe to his channel as well. Am I forgetting? Oh, how can I forget? My brother, Big Brother James, Know Your Boy Sports and News. Subscribe to him as well. Shout out to my boy James, man. And special shout out to the big bro, to my big brother, man. My big bro from another mother. Underrated Darkness. Subscribe to his channel as well. All right. We're just gonna step on. We're gonna get into it. This is not gonna be an NBA stream. I'm doing a series on 90s college basketball, and then on Wednesday I will be doing early 2000s from 2000 2010, and then on Wednesday I will be doing 80s basketball as well, and then the next following week I'll continue to do the series with 70s and the 60s. All right. I've been watching college basketball since about 82. I was about 4 years old at the time, but when I in 1988 was when I really started, understanding and everything like that of what it is and everything. College basketball has just been it's been great. It's still great. I'll be talking about the men's and I'll be talking about the women's. I'm gonna say this one more time. This is not an NBA stream. This is strictly college basketball. College only. Straight college. All right. So let's get on into it, man. When you think of 90s basketball from 89 to 90, this was the first team all NBA. I mean first team all first team and second team NCAA 89. Names gonna sound familiar to some of y'all. We got Derek Coleman was on the first team, Syracuse, Gary Payton, who was the player of the year and defensive player of the year. Then you got Lionel Simmons out of LaSalle. Then you have LJ, Larry Johnson, Nevada, Las Vegas. And then you got Mahmoud Rauf, who went to LSU. Second team was Alonzo Mourning, Georgetown Hoyas, Boyd Kimball, Loyola Marymount, 3D, Dennis Scott, Georgia Tech, Doug Smith from Missouri, Hank Gathers, Loyola Marymount, Kenneth Gill, Illinois, and Ramil Robinson from Michigan. Let's go 90-91. We got Billy Owens, Syracuse, Jim Jackson, Ohio State, Kenny Anderson, Georgia Tech. This is first team. Larry Johnson, this is second selection. Nevada, Las Vegas, Running Rebels. And you have Shaquille O'Neal, Louisiana State. Second team was Kristen Leitner, Eric Murdoch, Christian Leitner went to Duke. Eric Murdoch, Providence. Keith Jennings, East Tennessee State. Stacy Ogman, Nevada, Las Vegas. And Steve Smith, Michigan State. That was the second team. Let's go 91, 92. Alonzo Mourning, his second time being on the selection. Georgetown. Christian Leitner, his second time. Duke. Harold Miner, Southern California. Jim Jackson, his second time at Ohio State. And Shaquille O'Neal, Louisiana State. Second team, Anthony Peeler, Missouri. Byron Houston, Oklahoma State. Don McClain, UCLA. Rest in peace to Malik Sealy, St. John's, New York. And you have the Wizard. A lot of people forget about this man too. This dude was a bucket in the NBA, not in college, also in the NBA. Walt Williams. Walt Williams was a beast. Let me just go over. I'm just going to stop right there. That was the first and second team from 89, 90, all the way to 91, 92. Derek Coleman, Syracuse, was a monster. Yeah, he played for the same coach now, Jim Boeheim. Yes, Derek Coleman was nice. Garrett Payton, like I said, he was Defensive Player of the Year and Player of the Year all in the same season at Oregon State. Larry Johnson, he was ridiculous at UNLV. And Chris Jackson is what I known him at that time before he changed his name to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, was a beast, was an animal. I mean, Chris Jackson, when he was named in college, man, y'all talking about Steph Curry and all these other. Chris Jackson was that guy. Alonzo Mourning, solidified. Big time Georgetown Hoya. That's back then in the 90s, man. The 90s was all about, at that time, was Big East. Big East was really was the cream of the crop in the 90s. And Alonzo Mourning definitely playing under John Thompson. Bo Kimball. We all know who Bo Kimball is. Him and Hank Gathers, rest in peace, Hank Gathers. They put Loyola Marymount on the map. On the map. Dennis Scott, yeah, he was a McDonald's All-American. And at Georgia Tech, he was that guy at Georgia Tech. Doug Smith, y'all people don't know who Doug Smith is. Y'all probably know him in the NBA. He played for Minnesota Timberwolves. He was a dog at Missouri. Hank Gathers, man, what I could say about Hank, man, life just died on the court, collapsed. But when he was playing, he was a beast. Kid McGill was a dog in college too, at University of Illinois. And Ramiro Robinson, a point guard general from University of Michigan. Then you have, let's go into 90-91. You're talking about Billy Owens, Syracuse. Billy Owens was nice. Played for a few teams in the NBA. Really had a great college career. Jim Jackson was a dog at Ohio State. Jim Jackson was a bucket, and he was a great defender. And everybody know now he does. He called games for the NBA and for Fox Sports as well. Kenny Anderson. And Kenny Anderson out of New York City was a monster. Kenny Anderson was a dog. Kenny Anderson was a dog. Hold on one second. He was a dog. Kenny Anderson. One of my favorite moments of Kenny Anderson when he crossed over Bobby Hurley, and Dick Vitale just went crazy. Larry Johnson, like I said, he was an animal, man. With UNLV, you know what I mean? He was just a monster, man. LJ Shaq was just a monster in college. He was playing beside Stanley Roberts at the time. And Christian Laettner, he was couldn't hate Christian Laettner, man. I didn't like Duke back in the day, but Christian Laettner was a dog in college. I can't take that away from Eric Murdoch. Was nice too for the University of Providence. Keith Jennings was nice for the University of East Tennessee State. Then you had Stacy Plasterman Ogman was nice for the Running Rebels. And Steve Smith was a point guard general for Michigan State, man. Playing for Judd Heathcote, if I can remember right. Then we're going to go to 91-92. Alonzo Mourning, Kristen Leitner, Harold Miner. Everybody thought he was Baby Jordan at the time. Then you had Jim Jackson again and Shaquille O'Neal. Second team was Anthony Peeler, was a monster. At University of Missouri. Back then, that was the Big 8 conference. Byron Houston at Oklahoma State, he was nice. Don McClain. Then you had St. John's, Malik Sealy. And a lot of people forget Walt Williams was a monster. Like, he was tall, everything like that, and he had handles with the high socks. Wore number 42, was a bucket. Could handle it, could do anything with the rock, man. Okay, let's keep on going. 92-93, first team All-American. That year was Anthony Hardaway, Bobby Hurley, Calvert Chaney out of Duke, Anthony Hardaway went to Memphis, Chris Webber, University of Michigan, and Jamal Monster Mashburn. Man, Jamal Mashburn was a killer. He was a killer. He was one of them teams. He was on the team, one of the good teams that should have won the national championship. They didn't get a chance to make it to the championship because they lost to Duke on that long behind, Hail Mary pass. Kristen Leitner turned around, shoot the jumper, mid-range, and he made it. Then you got Bill McCaffrey on the second team for Vanderbilt. Eric Montross, big guy from North Carolina. Glenn Big Dog Robinson of Purdue. He was a dog in college. Same way he was in the pros at the same kind of game. Then you had Grant Hill from Duke. Then you had Isaiah Ryder, Nevada, Las Vegas. Then you had Rodney Rogers, Wake Forest. Then you had Terry DeHare at Seton Hall. Rodney Rogers was nasty at Wake Forest. Terry DeHare was a bucket. And Terry DeHare, he was nice too. Let's go to 93-94. We got first team was Clifford Rozier out of Louisville, was a dog. Danya Marshall, University of UConn, was a bucket, was nice. He was stretch four. He was stretch four way back then, though. Danya Marshall, man, he was nice. He had Glenn Robinson in his second team selection. He made the first team. Grant Hill from Duke. Then you had Jason Kidd at University of California, second team. Corliss Williamson, University of Arkansas. Eric Montross, University of North Carolina, his second selection. Second team, Jalen Rose. This is their sophomore year. The first year was the Fab Five. Then you had Khalid Reeves. Khalid Reeves was nice for Arizona guard. Lamont Murray, guy can shoot. That's another dude that a lot of people forget about that had a shot that could shoot that thing, even in the league. Then you had Melvin Booker, Devin Booker's father, University of Missouri, was an animal in his own right. All right. Let's go to 94-95. First team All-America was Damon Stoudemire, Ed O'Bannon out of UCLA. Damon Stoudemire went to Arizona. Then you had Jerry Stackhouse, University of North Carolina. Joe Smith out of Maryland. Joe Smith was nasty in college. Was a double-double machine, man. And then you had Sean Westbrook, Michigan State. Sean Westbrook he was nice in college as well. Second team, Corliss Williamson, University of Arkansas. Kerry Kittles, University of Villanova. Lou Rowe. Man, Lou Rowe was nasty too, man. Lou Rowe was nasty. That's when John Calipari was still coaching. He was still coaching at University of UMass at that time. Then you had Randolph Childress. Randolph Childress was a man. He was a bucket for University of Wake Forest. Then you had Rasheed Wallace. He made the second team. All right. So in college, they only do first team and second team. All right. Let's go to 95-96. Allen Iverson, first team, Georgetown. Kerry Kittles, second selection, University of Villanova. Marcus Camby, UMass. Then you have Ray Allen, Connecticut. Tim Duncan, Mr. Fundamental, Wake Forest. Then you had Tony Delp from University of Kentucky. Second team was Danny Forson, big guy enforcer. You got Jock Vaughn, point guard general from University of Kansas. At that time, was Ward Williams was the coach. John Wallace, University of Syracuse. John Wallace was nice, 96 class. Then you had Keith Van Horn. Keith Van Horn was a bad white boy in college. I ain't gonna lie, Keith Van Horn was nice. Lorenzo Wright, rest in peace, University of Memphis. Then we go to 96, 97. You have Danny Forson again, University of Cincinnati. Keith Van Horn, that's his second selection. Ray LaFrance from Kansas. Ron Mercer from Kentucky. Then you have Tim Duncan, his second selection. All right. Then we have second team was Antoine Jameson. Antoine was nice in college for Carolina. Then you have Bobby Jackson, University of Minnesota. Then you have Brevin Knight, University of Stanford. Chauncey Billups, Colorado. This is the second team. And Jock Vaughn, his second selection to the All-American team at the University of Kansas. Let's go to 97, 98. We got Antoine Jameson. You have Mike Bibby. You have Miles Simon out of Arizona. 2 players from Arizona and 2 players from Kansas from 97, 98 first team. Paul Pierce and Ray LaFrance's second selection. Then on the second team, Anzu Cisse out of Mississippi. Then you have Mateen Cleaves out of Michigan State. Then you have Pat Garrity, who could shoot that thing, out of Notre Dame. Then you have Richard Hamilton, UConn. And they go Vince Carter, North Carolina, Tar Heels. Now we're going to go to 98, 99. And that's what I'm going to stop at. Andre Miller was the first team. Elton Brand from Duke. Jason Terry, Arizona. Mateen Cleaves, Michigan State. And Richard Hamilton, his second selection on the All-American team on the first team. Second team was Chris Porter from Harvard. Yvonne Eschmeyer from Northwestern. Steve Franchise Francis from Maryland. Trajan Landon, the Alaska Assassin from Duke. And you have Wally Zerbiak at the University of Miami, Ohio. We're just talking about college here. Yeah, it is, man. College in the 90s was crazy. You had a lot of great teams. Nolan Richardson had a lot of great teams in the 90s. UCLA in the 90s. Coach with Jim Herrick as a coach. Then you had Georgetown with man, John Thompson had a nice squads in the 90s. Ward Williams had some nice squads at Kansas. North Carolina was low, man. That's when college basketball, everybody, Villanova, man, it was just, I could just go on and go on and go on. Let me just look up something right quick. I'm still waiting for it to load. Okay. I don't want that. That just gave me. Oh, that's. All right. So let's just continue on with what I got going on here. But like I said, we just talking about college. We ain't talking about these players going to the NBA. I'm just talking about their college career. If you know something about this, you could get on this. We are not talking about NBA careers. We're just strictly talking about college basketball. All right. It's just straight college from these players in their careers while they was in college. You know what I mean? So yeah, but even Penny was a dog at Memphis. Penny was the one to me that put Memphis on the map. Because he was homegrown and ended up doing his thing. I was gonna go by all these players that I mentioned in the '90s. Man, Penny, man, Anthony Hardaway, man, Anthony was a beast, man. Penny was a dog, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. When I was seeing him growing up, I was like, man, he's tall. He can handle the ball. Man, he could just do it all, man. Like he can do anything on that court. In college. Let's go back to 89, 90. Derek Coleman, like I said, he was just a dog. DC was, man, I'm telling you, Derek Coleman was a beast. And everybody was acting like DC can handle the ball. He can, like, DC would have played in this era, man. He be doing everything these dudes be doing out there. But the only thing I keep telling people, like them college players back then, they all the NBA players back then, some of them they went to college. They ain't had no choice to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Before the rules changed, and everything like that. Gary Payton was just a dog. I already knew Gary Payton. I still got the Sports Illustrated when he was Defensive Player of the Year and National Player of the Year in the same season. In the same season, he was National Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. I ain't never seen nobody do that in college basketball, but in my life that I seen, did Gary Payton. Like I said, Larry Johnson was just a monster. That LJ was just a dog. He played with Greg Anthony, Anderson Hunt, and I forgot the two big man name that they had. Jerry Tarkanian, man, was the coach at the time. Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, like I said, Mahmoud was just Chris Jackson. Chris Jackson was nasty. Chris Jackson was just straight nasty for LSU, man. And then you had Alonzo. He made a name for himself in college. You know what I mean? Bo Kimball was Hank Adams' teammate. Man, they have one of the highest scoring offense, like how they scoring in today's NBA. Loyola Marymount was doing that in 89-90 season. Like that was unheard of back then. But them boys was literally putting up that many points, 140, 130 points each and every game. And Kendall Gill, man, Kendall was nasty, man. Kendall Gill, he played with Nick Anderson. And I forgot who that other player he played with. But Illinois was nasty too. Cause that year, 89-90, yeah, he was nice. Ramil Robinson, straight floor general, low assist to turnover ratio. That's what you call a point guard. That was the definition of a true point guard. A true point guard. Not today's point guards, but they not only know why they call these guys point guards. I've been saying ever since I got on YouTube, there ain't no real point guards here in the league no more. All these dudes like to score. So they shooting guards that's happen to play point. Steve Smith was nasty. Steve Smith out of Michigan State, he could do it all on the court. I mean, do it all. Stacey Ogman, he can lead the break, push the ball up the floor, make plays. Plastic Man, Keith Jennings was nasty too, out of East Tennessee State. That year he played for his career. He averaged 127. He played 127 games, 15.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, 7.7 assists, 54.9% from the field. His 3-point percentage was 49.3. His free throw percentage was 86.1. I'm just gonna go all these players what they average in college. All right, let's go to Derek Coleman. This is for his career at University of Syracuse. 15 points a game, 10.7 rebounds a game, 2.3 assists, 56.8 from the field. He shot 29.1% from the three. But then again, the 3-pointer was very element back then. It wasn't even, they had, like I said, everybody had shooters. That wasn't a big requirement. I know today's generation was like, man, his numbers is trash, but y'all don't never factor in the style of play, where it was way more physical, it was a whole lot more easy to score and all that. And he shot 68.4% for the free throw line. All right, let's go to Gary Payton. For his career, he in college at Oregon State, he averaged 18.1 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, 7.8 assists, 48.5% from the field, 36.9 from three, 68% from the free throw line. That was when he was in college for his career. Now let's go to Larry Johnson. Larry Johnson played 75 games. He averaged 21.6 points a game. He averaged 11. This is for his career at University of UNLV. Nicknamed Grandmama. His rebounds is 11.2, assists 2.5, 64.3% from the field, 34.9% from the three, 78.9 from the free throw line. UNLV should have won back to back. I felt like they got cheated against Duke, because the year before they blew out Duke in the national championship, and then they was undefeated and got to the and then they lost to them in the Final Four. They lost to them in the Final Four to Duke, and Duke was able to get their revenge. Questionable calls. I remember that game like it was yesterday. Matter of fact, I was watching that game the other night. Man, it was so many questionable calls, but Duke was able to get it done. All right. So we're going to go to Lionel Simmons. I know y'all new people don't know who Lionel Simmons was. The L train for his career. He got drafted by the Sacramento Kings. He was a 7th pick, but in his career, he averaged 24.6 points. He averaged 10 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 50% from the field, 41.5% from three, and he shot 72% from the free throw line. The L train from LaSalle, L train, he was nasty. He was a bucket. And then let's go to known as Chris Jackson prior to 1993. He averaged 29 points a game, 3 rebounds a game, 3.6 assists, 47.4. I remember he used to have that box. Yeah, he had that box back then. 37.2 from three, 86.3% from the free throw line. This is just his college. Let's go to Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo averaged 16.7 points a game, reached 8.6 rebounds per game, 56.6%, 26% for three, 75.4 from the free throw line in his career at University of Georgetown. Now we're going to go to Bo Kimball, Loyola Marymount. He averaged 22.6 points a game, 4.9 rebounds a game, 1.7 assists, 48.4% from the field. He didn't even shoot a three-pointer in college, 82.2% from the free throw line. Okay, let's go to 3D. Dennis Scott. He averaged 21.4 points for his career at Georgia Tech, 5.3 rebounds a game, 2.9 assists, 45.2% from the field, 42.2 from three, and he shot 77.7% from the free throw line. All right, let's keep on going. Doug Smith, University of Missouri. He averaged 17.1 points a game, 8 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists, shot 51% from the field, 17.4 field goal for three. He didn't really shoot a lot of threes in college. 74.7% from the free throw line. All right. Now we're going to go to Hank Gathers, Loyola Marymount. Rest in peace. He was 6'7". He went to USC. Then he ended up going in Loyola Marymount. He averaged 23.3 points per game, 9.6 rebounds a game, 1.4 assists. He averaged 58.5% from the field. He did not shoot a three-pointer. And his free throws, he was a bad free throw shooter at 56%. Rest in peace, though, Hank Gathers. Kid O'Gill, he averaged 12 points a game, 2.8 rebounds a game. He averaged 3 assists, 50% from the field, 37.4 from the three, and he was 75% from the free throw line. All right. Then we're going to go to the point guard general, Ramil Robinson, 4.5 points a game, 3.2 rebounds, 5.8 assists. He shot 52.8 from the field, 41.1 from the three. And he shot 66% from the free throw line. All right, now we're gonna go to the 90-91. Billy Owens, University of Syracuse. For his career, he at Syracuse, 17.9, 8 rebounds a game, 3.7 assists, 50% from the field, 32.5 from the three, 68% from the free throw line. All right, now we're going to go to Jim Jackson. Jim Jackson was a dog at Ohio State. Jimmy is what they call him. 19.2 points a game, 5.9 rebounds a game, 4 assists, 50% from the field, 37.6 field goals from the three. He shot 78.4% from the free throw line. Jim Jackson was a dog. I ain't gonna lie, I watched him in college. I was like, who is that? I couldn't stand Ohio State growing up. Because when I was growing up, my favorite teams was LSU, Kansas. I always rooted for Kansas, LSU, and Michigan. Maybe I like Michigan because of Glenn Rice. All right, now we're going to go to Kenny Anderson, New York City stand-up, cold point guard. He averaged 23 points a game, 5.6 rebounds a game, 7 assists, 47.3 from the field, 37.4 from the field from the three, and he shot 78.7% from the free throw line. All right, now we're going to go to LJ, Larry Johnson. 21.6, 11.2 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 64% from the field, 34.9% from the three, about 35%, 78.9, and then from the field. All right, now we're gonna go to Shaquille O'Neal, Shaq. He averaged 21.6 for his career at LSU, 13.5 rebounds, 1.7 assists. He shot 61% in college. He did not shoot a three-pointer in college, and he shot 57.5% from the free throw line. Shaq was just a man among boys, man. Him and then we go to Stacey Ogman. He averaged 13.9 points for his career at UNLV. Plastic Man. 6.9 rebounds a game, 3-point assists a game. He averaged 55.5% from the field, 42% from the three. He shot 67.7% from the field. These is all the first team and second team All-America. Okay, then we're gonna go to Steve Smith. He averaged 18.5% out of Michigan. Smitty, 6 rebounds a game, 3.7 assists. 48% from the field, 41.6 for three, 75.6 from the free throw line. That's when all these stats is strictly college. Eric Murdoch, he has 17.3 points a game, 4.3 rebounds a game, 4.2 assists, 43.5 from the field, 35.4 from three, and he shot 78.4% from the free throw line. Eric Murdoch was nice. Yeah. Christian Laettner. For his career at Duke, he was 16.6, 7.8 rebounds a game, 1.8 assists, 57.4% from the field, 48.5 from three, 80% from the free throw line. I think the best player came from Duke. I know a lot of people will say it's Christian Laettner or Danny Ferry. I think the best player that ever came out of Duke, it's just my opinion, was Grant Hill. All right, let's go to 91-92. I already did Alonzo Mourning. His stats, okay. I did Crystal Laettner. Harold Miner, he averaged 23.5. Baby Jordan is what his nickname was. 5.4 rebounds a game, 1.8 assists, 45.3 field goal percentage, 36.7 from the three, 81%, 81.4% from the free throw line. Okay. Then we're going to go to Anthony Peeler. Peeler Power. Got drafted by the Lakers. First round, 15th pick overall in 1992 draft. But in college, he averaged 16.8 points a game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 4.2 assists, 46.6 field goal percentage, 39.3 from the three. He shot 77.9% from the field, from the free throw line, excuse me. Then we got Byron Houston. He was 6'7". He got drafted by the Bulls in the first round, 27th pick. He averaged 18.7 points per game for his career at Oklahoma State, 9.4 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists, 55.2 field goal percentage, 28.1 from three, 72.9 from the free throw line. All right, then you got Don McClain. He averaged 20.5 for the Bruins for his career, 7.8 rebounds per game, 1.6 assists, 53.1 from the field, 31.4 from the three, and he shot 86% from the free throw line at 6'10". All right, then you got Malik Sealy, rest in peace. He averaged 18.9 points for St. John's, 6.9 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 49.4 from the field, 24.7% for three, 71.2 from the free throw line. Then you got the Wizard, one of my favorite players, Walt the Wizard, 16.2 points per game, 4.6 true rebound on his rebounds. He averaged 4.6, assists was 3.9. His field goal percentage was 46.6, 35.9% from the three, 76.2 from the free throw line, 52.8 effective field goal percentage. Well, like I said, Walt Wizard was 6'8", 219. This dude could do it all. Handle, dribble. He was a point forward, so to speak. That's what he was at University of Maryland, and he did that. He did that in the league as well. Now we're gonna go to Anthony Hardaway. He averaged 20.7. He averaged 20 points at University of Memphis in his career, 7.7 rebounds, 5.9 assists per game, 45.6 from the field, 34.6 from three, and you got 71% from the free throw line. Anthony Penny Hardaway. Then you got Bobby Hurley. He averaged 12.4. Now the coach at Arizona State. 12.4 points per game. Averaged 2.2 rebounds, 7.7 assists per game. He averaged 41% from the field, 40.5% for three, 77.6% from the free throw line. Then you got Calvin Chaney out of University of Indiana for his career, 19.8 points per game at the University of Indiana, 5.4 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 55.9 from the field, 43.8 from three, 79% from the free throw line. Next in line, we got Steve Webb. For his career at Michigan, he averaged 17.4 points per game, 10 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists, 58.9 from the field, 30.6 from three, 53% for the free throw line. This was when he was in college. All these player stats are strictly college. Jamal Mashburn, one of my favorite players I like growing up. He averaged 18.8 points at Kentucky, 7.8 rebounds per game, 2.2 rebounds per game, 51.6 from the field, 37.6 from three, 69.7 from the free throw line. Jamal Mashburn was a problem in college. Can do it all. Can handle, shoot, dribble, do it all. All right. Then we got Bill McCaffrey from University of he went to Duke. Then he ended up going to Vanderbilt. He averaged 14.4 points per game, 1.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 49% from the field, 42.1 from the three, 85.7 from the free throw line, 55% expected field goal percentage. Then you got Eric Montross. He averaged 11.7 points for his career at Carolina, 6.8 rebounds, 0.6 assists. He did not shoot a three. 58.5 from the field goal percentage, and the free throw line was 62.4. Then we got the big dog, Glenn Robinson. Glenn Robinson was a dog, 6'7", 225, out of the University of Purdue. He averaged 27.5 points in his career at Purdue, 9.7 rebounds. He averaged 1.9 assists. Field goal percentage was 47.9. His three-point percentage was 38.5. And his free throw line, he shot 77% from the free throw line in college. Okay, now we got Grant Hill. He averaged 14.9 points per game in his career at Duke, six rebounds, 3.6 assists, 53% from the field, 37.6 from three. He shot 69.8% from the free throw line. Then we got Isaiah Ryder. UNLV, he averaged 24.9 assists, 24.9 points a game, 7.1 rebounds per game. He averaged 2.9 assists. He shot 50.4% from the field. He averaged 40% from the three, and he shot 80% from the free throw line. Then you got Rodney Rogers, University of Wake Forest. Can do it all as well on the court offensively. Handle, dribble, all the stuff that you say that players in the past couldn't do. Man, them players was been doing that way back then, man. Now, y'all gotta just, man, all these players back then was doing the same behind stuff. Man, could dribble, handle. Big guys can dribble, handle, but it was probably way more of them was doing it back then than it is right now. That's just my opinion. Because back then, anybody could sit there and pick up the ball and dribble and all that stuff, but different time in the NBA. Totally way different time. Hold on a second. I'm watching this college game and doing this at the same time. Okay. All right, let's get it. Then Rodney Rogers, he averaged 19.3 points for his career at University of Wake Forest, 7.9 rebounds, 2.2 assists. He averaged 57.9 from the field, 34.9 from three, 69.4 from the free throw line. Then we got Terry DeHare. He was a dog, 6'2", out of Seton Hall. He got drafted by the Clippers in '93. He averaged 19.5 points per game, 3.2 rebounds a game, 2.5 assists, 44.2 from the field, 38.9 from three, 82.2% from the field. All right, now we're going to go 93-94. Clifford Rozier. The second, he averaged 12.8 points per game. He was a center for Louisville. He went to UNC, then he went to Louisville. He had 8.2 rebounds for his career, 1.3 assists, 57% from the field. He did not attempt a three, 55.7%. He was drafted by the Golden State Warriors first round in the 1994 NBA draft. Okay. Then we're going to go to Donyell Marshall. He got drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves, the fourth overall pick in '94. For his career, he averaged 18.1 points a game, 7.6 rebounds per game, 1.4 assists, 48.7% from the field, 30.6 from the three. He shot 77% from the free throw line. Now, I'm gonna say this about Donyell Marshall. He was the first person that I seen a stretch four shooting a three ball that I seen at that particular time when I was growing up. Rodney Rogers could shoot it too. You know, he made a name for himself in the NBA, being a stretch. But him was one of the very first players I seen that was a stretch four that actually could shoot that thing from out there. Played for Jim Calhoun. Casey Kidd, out of Cal. He averaged 14.9 points in his career at University of California. 5.9 rebounds per game, 8.4 assists. He shot 46.8 from the field. He shot 33.3% from the three, and he was a 67.7% as a free throw shooter. I remember him, man. I mean, Jason Kidd was a dog. Jason Kidd was a dog. I mean, he was a dog in college. And you already know what he did in his career in his NBA. All right, let's keep on going. Along Corliss Williams, the Big Nasty is what they used to call him. Played for the late great. Rest in peace to Nolan Richardson, one of the best black coaches in the 90s. One of them. We had a lot of them in the 90s. That was black coaches in the. He played for one of them. He played with Scotty Thurman and Corey Beck. I remember they had a big dude named Stewart. He wore number 15. I remember. Big dude that got out there could shoot the threes and shit like that. You know, in the 90s, like I keep trying to tell y'all, new generation, man, that these old school players like that, man, they had players that could shoot that thing all the way out there. That was big guys and everything like that. They acting like everything that these players are doing that they ain't never seen before. Yeah, but that's another story for another day. But he averaged 19 points a game, 7.1 rebounds a game, 2.1 assists. Did win the national championship. And they also lost one to the UCLA, to the O'Bannon brothers, and Toby Bailey and Tyus Edney and the boys. 58% for the three, 58.3 from the field, 16.7% from three, 67.2 from the free throw line. And he got drafted first round, 13th pick from the Sacramento Kings in the 95 draft. Now we're going to go to Eric Montross, who I mentioned, but he ended up getting drafted by the Boston Celtics in the 94 draft. Now let's just keep on going. Jalen Rose. He averaged 17.5 points per game, 4.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 46.4 from the field, 33.6 from three, 73.8 from the free throw line. He got picked first round, number 13th in the 94 draft. All right. Then you got Khalid Reeves. Khalid Reeves was a dog. He ended up getting drafted by Miami Heat, but Khalid was nasty. Could shoot it. Anything you wanted him to do. He was NCAA region. He was a high school on parade All-American. He was consensus All-American. 1993-94 All Pac-12, Pac-12 All Freshman. He averaged 15 points a game, 3.3 rebounds per game, 3.1 assists, 47.9% from the field, 38% for three, 76.3 free throws for the free throw line. Let's move right along. Lamar Murray. Let Lamar Murray shoot. Let Lamar Murray shoot the three balls like these boys can do back then. You know what I'm saying? Let him come in and do this thing right now. He got drafted by the Clippers. He was a 7th round pick, 94 draft. He was consensus All-American, 2-time All Pac-12 and Pac-12 All Freshman team. He averaged 19.2, 6.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 48.9 from the field, 33.7 from the three, 71.3 from the free throw line. All right, let's get moving on right along. Melvin Booker, it's just Devin Booker's father. When he was NCAA region, consensus All-American, 1993-94 Big 8 Player of the Year. He averaged 13.6, 3.5 rebounds a game, 3.9 assists, 46.6 from the field, 39.2 from three, 78.9 from the free throw line. He was 6'1". So Devin Booker's obviously taller than his father, but his father was a dog. I've been watching them against. All right, let's go to Damon Stoudemire now. He was NCAA All Region, 94-95 Pac-10 Player of the Year, Pac-12 All Freshman Team, consensus All-American. He's 3-time All Pac-12. He averaged 15 points a game for his career, 3.8 rebounds, 5.4 assists, 45.7% from the field, 40.2 um, three from the three. He had shot 80.4 from the free throw line. And he ended up getting drafted by. He was a 7th overall pick in the 1995 NBA draft. Guess who drafted him? Does anybody know? I remember Vancouver, if I ain't mistaken. All right. Now let's go to Allen Iverson. In 95-96, he was a 2-time NCAA All-Region. He was consistent All-American, 2-time All-Big East Tournament Team, 2-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. High school, he was high school All-American, 2-time All-Big East All-Freshman, 1994 Big East Regional MVP. He averaged 23 points a game, 3.6 rebounds, 4.6 assists, 44% from the field, 31.4 from three, 68.3 from the free throw line. Allen Iverson was a dog. He could have played either sport, football or basketball. Well, he chose basketball. Kerry Kittles out of Louisiana. He ended up getting drafted by the New Jersey Nets, 8th pick, 1996. He the one that started that one sock up and the other one down stuff in college when I was growing up. I ain't see nobody else doing that but him. 18.4 for his career at Villanova, 5.9 for rebounds a game, 3.3 assists. Yeah, it was 47.8 from the field, 39.4 from the three, and he was 71.9% from the free throw line. He was 2-time consensus All-American, 3-time All-Big East All-Freshman, 94-95 Big East Player of the Year. He was 2-time All-Big East Tournament Team, and he was Big East Tournament MVP. All right. Marcus Camby, University of UMass. He was NCAA Tournament Team, High School Parade All-American, consensus All-American, Naismith Award, 95-96 A10 Player of the Year, 2-time A10 Tourney MVP, 93-94 R18 Rookie of the Year. He was NCAA Region, 95-96 AP Player of the Year. He was a Wooden War Rough Trophy, 3-time All A10, and he was A10 All Freshman. He averaged 15.1 points for his career there, 7 rebounds, 1.4 assists. He was 50.1. He 3-pointer percent was 7.7. He didn't shoot a minute. But when Marcus Camby was in college, he shot 66%. He had some of the best Puerto Rican dudes I ever seen in my life that played in college basketball. It was Edgar Padilla, and I think his name was Luis Travieso. And them dudes was nasty. That team, that was one of the, I know y'all people want to think that Kentucky team, that with Anthony Davis and all them boys, when they beat Kansas that year, was his best team ever. No. John Calipari, best team he had when he had Marcus Camby, Luis Travieso, and Edgar Luis, I think it's Edgar Padilla. Them two dudes right there with him, they was a problem in college basketball. They was a problem. All right, let's move on. He ended up getting drafted first round, 2nd pick by the Toronto Raptors. All right, let's keep on going. Ray, Jesus Shuttlesworth. He ended up getting drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves, 5th overall pick, 1996 NBA draft, one of the best draft classes other than the 84 draft. I know some people will think it's 2003 draft. It's better. Not even close. That's just my opinion. But Ray averaged 19 points a game. He averaged 6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 48% 48.7% from the field, 44.8% from three, 77.9% from the free throw line. He was NCAA All-Region, 95-96 Big East Player of the Year. He was two-time All-Big East Tournament Team, consistent All-American, two-time All-Big East, and Big East All-Freshman Team. Ray Ray was a dog. One of the best battles I ever seen was him and Iverson that year. Georgetown was up in that game, and then he ended up hitting that game winner at the end. It ended up giving them the Big East championship. Tim Fundamental Duncan, the big fundamental. He was two-time All NCAA Region, two-time Consensus All-American. He was a Naismith Award winner, two-time ACC Player of the Year, three-time All-ACC Tournament Team, ACC Tourney MVP, 96-97 AP Player of the Year. He was Wooden Award winner. He won the Rupp Trophy, three-time All-ACC, and he was on the ACC All-Freshman Team for his career matter of fact, he played with his point guard there. I think his name was Tony Rutledge is his name. Yeah, Rutledge. Rutledge played with Allen Iverson when in high school at University of Bethel. A lot of people don't know who Tony Rutledge is. Look him up. He was a problem. He was older than Iverson though. I think he was like a couple years older than him, I think. Yeah, but he averaged 16.5, 12.3 rebounds, 2.3 assists, 57.7 from the field, 32.1% from the three, and he averaged 68.9% from the free throw line. All right, moving right along. Tony Delp. Now, Tony Delp was a dog. This dude was 6'1". I swear his arms, when he get in the defensive stance, his arms literally touch the ground. He has some long ass arms. He was an NCAA champion, NCAA tournament team, NCAA tourney most outstanding player. He was consensus All-American. He was a three-time All-SEC, two-time All-NCAA region. He was a high school parade All-American, 95-96 SEC Player of the Year, 1994 All-SEC. He averaged 14.2, 3.5 rebounds, 1.6 assists, 47.4 from the field. He averaged 39.7 from the three, 70.9% from the free throw line. He got drafted the first round in '96 draft by the Charlotte Hornets. All right, moving right along. Then we're going to go Danny Fortson, 6'7". Out of the University of Cincinnati, got drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks, 10th. He was the 10th pick in the '97 draft. He was all NCAA All-Region. He was a high school All-American, two-time Conference USA Player of the Year, two-time All-Conference USA Tournament Team, Conference USA Tournament MVP, 96-97 All-Conference USA. He was two-time Consensus All-American. He averaged 18.8 points a game, 8.7 rebounds, 1.2 assists, 56.5% from the field. He did not shoot a three, 74.3 from the free throw line. I'm going to go back and do everybody else. I ain't forgot about doing everybody at the bottom, but while I'm on it, I'm just going to keep on going. I'm going to circle back down and give y'all all these other players that I didn't mention before from the 90s, from 90, 91, 92, 93. Okay. Now we got Job Vaughn. He was NCAA All-Region. He was a high school parade All-American, 95-96 Big 8 Player of the Year, 1997 All-Big 12 Tournament, 1996-97 All-Big 12, and he was two-time Consensus All-American. 9.6 points per game, 3 rebounds a game, 6.4 assists a game, 45.9 from the field, 38.3 from the free throw line, 70.8% from the free throw line. All right. Chauncey Billups. He was a high school parade All-American, Consensus All-American, and 96-97 All-Big 12. He got drafted first round, third pick overall in '97 draft, 18.5 points per game, 5.6 rebounds per game, 5.1 assists, 41.3 field goal percentage, 38.2 from the three, and 85.7 from the three. And he shot 85.7% from the free throw line. For Chauncey Billups. All right. Now we're going to go to Brevin Knight, University of Stanford. He was 5'10". He got drafted by the Cavaliers in 1997. Averaged 14.9 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 6.8 assists. He averaged 41.6 from the field, 33.6 from three, 79.8 from the free throw line. He was NCAA All-Region, three-time All-Pac-12, 93-94 Pac-10 Rookie of the Year, consensus All-American. He was Pac-12 All-Freshman team. All right. Let's move right along. To Bobby Jackson, University of Minnesota. He was NCAA All-Tournament team, consensus All-American, 96-97 All-Big Ten, NCAA All-Region, 1996 Big Ten Player of the Year, 1996 Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, 14.4 Oh yeah, he did something like he did. Oh, see, I knew it was other people other than Gary Payton. He was the second person I seen that was a player of the year, and he was playing in defensive player of the year. But Gary Payton did. He was national defensive player of the year. So, but he did that, being the best player and being the best defensive player in that conference. That's nothing to slouch at. 14.4 points he averaged for Minnesota, 5.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 42.7 from the field. He shot 30.7% from three, 78.6 from the free throw line. I know y'all newcomers be like, man, these 3-point stats, they trash, dude. Back then, them players didn't shoot threes like that, man. Teams back then didn't shoot a lot of threes like that, man. It's about feeding that big man, man. And great guard, and they already had in every era, even in the 90s. Every team back in the 90s had great guards and great big men. Mm-hmm. Next, we got Keith Van Horn. Keith Van Horn was a cold-ass white boy. He was cold. He was NCAA All-Region, two-time consensus All-American. He was 3 times West Coast Athletic Player of the Year. He averaged 20.8 points for his career at Utah. For the late, rest in peace, Rick Majerus, 8.8 rebounds, 1.2 assists. He averaged 52.2% from the field. He averaged 40.1% from the three, 85.1% from the free throw line. He got drafted by the first round, second overall in the 97 NBA draft by the Philadelphia 76ers. Okay. Who else is next? Oh, Ray LaFrance out of Kansas. He was high school on parade All-American, 2-time consensus All-American, 2-time Big 12 Player of the Year, 2 times All Big 12, 2-time All-12 Big Tournament team. He averaged 15.8 points per game, 9.1 rebounds per game, 0.7 assists, 55.5% from the field, 37.1 from three. He averaged 71.2%. You put this man in this era, he'll kill. He can shoot the three, and he was a lefty. He can back you down, can get buckets, can score down low. He would just. Ray LaFrance was. It's like I said, you got some players, man. That's like that. That's why I can go on and on. But players, I only have to name the big time people that everybody want to mention back in the days. But I could just put him in this NBA era. What you think he'll do? I'm just saying. Y'all just want to y'all want to have everything, but you can't. Not over here. Let's go to Paul Pierce. No, let me go back. I ain't done just yet. Our new sensei. He was consensus All-American, 1997-98 SEC Player of the Year, 1997 All-SEC. And he was 2-time All-SEC. He averaged 13 points per game. He was a forward. He averaged 6.4 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 42.8 field goals, and he averaged 26.8 from three, 72.4 from the free throw line. He got drafted in the second round, 30th pick in the 1998 draft by the Dallas Mavericks. All right, let's keep on going. Mateen Cleaves. He was NCAA champion, NCAA All-Tournament Team, NCAA most outstanding player, 3-time consensus All-American, 3-time All-Big Ten, Big Ten Tournament MVP, 2-time NCAA All-Region. He was high school parade All-American, All-America, and he was 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, and he was 2-time All-Big Team tourney. He averaged 12.5 points, 2.1 rebounds, 6.6 assists, 40.6 from the field, 31.3 from three, 73.8 from the free throw line. All right, now we're gonna go to the shooter himself, Pat Garrity, 6'9" forward, can shoot. He averaged 18.8 points a game. He averaged 7 rebounds per game. He averaged 2.0 assists. He averaged 48.8 from the field, 35.8 from the three, 74.7 from the free throw line. And he's all right. He was consensus All-American, 3-time All-Big East, and 1996-97 Big East Player of the Year. Another big guy, 6'9", that can shoot. That's a stretch four that can shoot. I mean, that man can shoot. Pat Garrity was slept on. No, I'm gonna be at work tomorrow. I ain't gonna be able to go. I'm not gonna be able to do that game right there, man. Yeah, for UConn and South Carolina. I got the game. The game gonna be recorded though. I'm gonna record it though. I still got South Carolina girls taking that thing. I don't think nobody gonna beat South Carolina this year. That's just my opinion. I think the only team that could probably beat them is in their conference. It's Stanford or Stanford or LSU. All right, let me just continue on. All right, we did Pat Garrity. Okay, now we're gonna do the Richard Hamilton. Richard Hamilton was NCAA champion, NCAA All-Tournament Team, NCAA Tournament Most Outstanding Player. He was a 2-time consensus All-American. He was 2-time All-Big East. He was a Big East All-Freshman Team. He was 2-time NCAA All-Region. He was a high school parade All-American, All-America. He was 2-time Big East Player of the Year, and he was 2-time Big East Tournament Team. He averaged 19.8 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists, 42.6 from the field, 37.8 from three, and he shot 82.6% from the free throw line, and he averaged, that's what he averaged. You know what Rip did in his career in the NBA. Okay, let's move it right along. Now we're going to go to Vinsanity, half man, half amazing, Air Canada. He was 2-time All-Region. He was consensus All-American. He was high school parade All-American. He was consensus All-American, 2-time All-ACC, and 1998 All-ACC Tournament Team. He got drafted by the Golden State Warriors, first round, 5th pick in the 1998 draft. 12.3 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 1.9 assists, 50.47 from the field, 36.8 from three, 70.5% from the free throw line. Yeah, Vince Carter was on them teams. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, Vince, like I said, Vince Carter was on one of them teams too that in college that they never won a championship, but they should have, man. That's when it was him, Rasheed Wallace, they had Ed Cota, they had Jeff McGinnis. Man, that squad was loaded in college, but they never got a chance to win the national championship. All right, let's move it right along. Then I'm going to work my way back down. I already did Mateen Cleaves. I'll go Jason Terry. He was NCAA champion, consensus All-American, 1998, 89 Pac-10 Player of the Year, 1998, 99 All Pac-12. He averaged 11.3 points per game, 2.3 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists. He shot 44.3 from the field, 37.4 from three, 78.4 from the free throw line. You know what he did in his NCAA career. Matter of fact, they team knocked out Kansas. That's why I thought that year Kansas was going to win a championship, but they did. They ended up losing. Paul Pierce and them ended up losing to Arizona that year, and yeah, and they ended up being Kentucky for the national championship. That was one of the great tournament runs in their history. All right, let's move along here. I'm almost finished with this. I'm almost finished with this. Okay, we already did Mateen, Jason Clay. Oh, let's go to Wally Zerbiak. I don't know what's taking so long for this thing. Is my thing freeze up or something? I'm like, what's going on? I was waiting on this thing. I ain't got a lot of stuff open. I don't know why it ain't. Okay, let me see. Do that work once I do that. Why it ain't? See now, okay, now they're gonna let me do Chris Porter. Chris Porter was a consistent All-American. He was two-time All-SEC. He was 1998-99 SEC Player of the Year and 1998-99 SEC Rookie of the Year. He got drafted by the Warriors in the second round, 26th pick in the 2000 draft. He averaged 15.3 points per game, 8 rebounds per game, 1.1 assists per game, 46.7% from the field, 30.8 from. Hold on. All right. Let me see here. Yeah, he averaged 46.7% from the field, 30.8 from three, 65.1 from the free throw line, 47.6 effective field goal percentage. All right. All right, let's go to Evan Eschmeyer out of Northwestern. I don't know why it's taking so long for this to load up because, man, it didn't normally go straight to it. I don't got nothing else open in here. You know what? Forget all that. I'm gonna go right. Mahmoud Abdul he was aka Chris Jackson. He was a high school parade All American, two-time consensus All American. He was two-time All SEC. He was a two-time SEC Player of the Year. And he was on the SEC All Freshman team for Chris Jackson, aka Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Now let's go to Derek Coleman. He was, I didn't mention what he did in his high school, his college career. He was NCAA All Tourney Team, NCAA All Region, consensus All American, full-time All Big East. He played all 4 years. Big East All Freshman Team, 89-90 Big East Player of the Year, 1990 All Big East Tournament Team, and 86-87 Big East Big East. All right. Now we're going to go to Gary Payton. He was a consensus All-American, three-time All-Pac-12, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year, 86-87 Pac-10 Rookie of the Year, 88-89 Pac-10 Player of the Year, two-time Pac-12 All-Tournament Team, 1986 Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year, and he won National Player of the Year in the same season. Gary Payton, the glove. Let me say what Larry Johnson did in his career. He was NCAA champion, NCAA All Tournament Team, two-time All NCAA All Region, two-time consensus All American. He was a Naismith Award winner, two-time All Big West, two-time Big West Tournament MVP, two-time Big West Tournament Team, two-time Big West Player of the Year, and he was a Wooden Award winner, and he was a high school parade All-America. All right, let's go to Lionel Simmons, the L Train. He was 89, 90 AP Player of the Year. He was a Wooden Award winner. He was a Rupp winner. He was two-time consensus All-American, Naismith Award winner, and he was three-time MEAC Player of the Year. The L Train, Lionel Simmons was cold. He was nice. Okay, I did everybody on that. The first thing, let me go to Zoe. Let me tell Alonzo Mourning his accomplishments. Oh, why did they do that? I didn't want that. Oh, here's Alonzo Mourning. He was an NCAA region. He was two-time consensus All-American. He was four-time All-Big East. He played 4 years, obviously. He was a Big East All-Freshman Team, Big East Tournament MVP. He was a high school parade All-American. He was 91, 92 Big East Player of the Year, three-time All-Big East Tournament Team, and he was a three-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. That's what he did when he was in college. So you can see how these players end up becoming in the NBA. All right. Now we're going to go to Bo Kimball. He was NCAA region, consensus All-America, 1989 West Coast Player of the Year, and he was Pac-12 All-Freshman Team. He got drafted by the Clippers, number 8 overall. I think him losing his best friend, Hank Gathers, I think that's just my first opinion. He really took a toll on them because I got to keep on telling y'all. Loyola Marymount, you see how they scoring in the NBA, scoring 140s and man, them boys was doing that in college at Loyola Marymount way back then. In the 89, 90, they was putting up 130, 120. That shit was unheard of. They was a highest scorers team in the country when him and Hank Gather played for Loyola Marymount. That team can put up some points. And that was back then where you didn't score 120, 30 points a game like that in college. But Loyola Marymount, they got that time, I think they averaged between let me just look it up. Just to prove my point. Oh, let me just go back. I just had it. Let's go back. Let's go to 89, 90. Yep, I was right. Look, check this out. In 86, 87, they averaged 110 points a season. In 87, 88, the next year, they averaged 112.5 points a game. All right. And then the next following season, they averaged 122 points a game. But they said these players are so much faster and bigger and stronger and all this stuff. Man, y'all need to raise y'all hand. And y'all media people, man, I'm going to get into y'all 1 minute. I'm almost finished with this, y'all. But I'm going to keep this strictly college basketball. Keep it strictly college basketball. I'll say that for another day. All right, now let's go to Dennis Scott, 3D, at the University of Georgia Tech. He was an NCAA tournament, all-tourney, NCAA region, high school parade, All-America. He was 89, 90, ACC Player of the Year, 1990 All-ACC Tournament Team, NCAA region. He was a consistent All-American, 1989-90 All-ACC, in 1987 and 1988 ACCC Rookie of the Year for 3D Dennis Scott, who didn't get drafted by the Orlando Magic. Okay, let's go to Doug Smith. He was a high school All-America, consensus All-America. He was two-time Big 8 Player of the Year at 6'10", 220. He ended up getting drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, the 6th pick in the 91 draft. Okay, now let's go to Romeo Robinson. In 89-90, that's when they won. That's when they won the championship. That's when Glenn Rice. That's when I finally seen one of the best shooter performances that I seen. Because I remember that year, Michigan was 0-3 against Illinois, and they ended up beating Illinois that year. I think in the Final Four, I think, because they ended up beating Seton Hall. Similar, like yeah, that's when they had Kendall Gill and Nick Anderson and the boys. They couldn't beat them, but they ended up beating them, and they ended up playing in the championship game. Matter of fact, Glenn Rice had one of the best shooting performances in Final Four history. Go look it up. Mm-hmm. The late great Hank Gathers, who died. I'm never watching that game live on national TV. He died on the court. He was consistent All American, and he was 1988, 89, um, West Coast, West Coast Conference Player of the Year. He died on the court. It was sad, man. That was sad because that was like not too long ago. Before then, that was when Len Bias, Len Bias died. You know, after he got drafted by the Celtics, they said for doing cocaine for the first time. But I always believe that somebody laced that dude. They laced him up. Like they really laced him up for him to die. But that's another story for another day. But Hank Gathers, man, that was sad, man. I remember watching that game, man. And he literally died on the court. That was a crazy season. I never forget the first game. Matter of fact, they was going to the NCAA tournament, and Bo Kimmel, he literally shot with his left hand. You know what I'm saying? Honoring one of his closest friends, man, Hank Gathers, man. But anyway, let's keep on going. And y'all gotta hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. You know, YouTube don't do what they do, man. They ain't gonna put me in the algorithm because he don't act right, boss. I ain't with today's society, and I don't stick up for that stuff. What they got going on, the agenda's pushing, and all this other stuff. If I was out here putting out today's agenda and everything like that, they have me in the algorithm. But I was raised better than that, so I'm gonna stay 10 toes down and get it the hard way. And I don't care to y'all. Oh yeah, to that little flunky who just sit there and just messaged me not too long ago that you deleted your comment on my Kobe stuff, and man. Tell whoever you over there be on the platform, so tell them they're more than welcome to come over here. They're more than welcome to come over here. I drop the link all the time on my stuff. They are more than welcome to come over here. And you're a very disrespectful individual. You are a very disrespectful individual. I know you're young. I know you're young. Because reading your comments and everything, I'm looking at it right now. Can you even spell? I guess Hooked on Phonics didn't work for you. Or you probably wasn't even old for Hooked on Phonics to come out, huh? Let me just keep on going, because I ain't gonna let I ain't nothing but the devil right there. Try to get me out of character. It's not gonna happen today. It's not gonna happen today. But I don't kiss nobody behind. I don't hashtag nobody in my videos. And looking at the person who you sit there and who you be on their platform, that's a spite. Yeah, they might have a lot of. See, this is one thing about people on YouTube. They always go by how many subscribers you got and all this other stuff. Well, I got all these kind of subscribers and da 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 da. Even y'all, some of y'all had a way longer start than me, but y'all ain't nowhere near close to me when it comes to the videos and content. Y'all ain't even close. But let's keep on going anyway. I just gotta delete, and you delete your message too. But hey, tell your little flunky who you be over there. You know what I'm saying? Holding his hand and all this other stuff. I ain't never scared. Y'all always want me to go on all these other platforms and stuff. And then when I do come to y'all platforms and then everything, it's like 10 against 1, can't even say anything. It's like going to Ticket Channel. Not a Ticket Channel now, man. Dudes won't even let you get your stuff off. Because no, they don't let you get your stuff off because they know you're telling the truth. The truth should set you free. I'm still going to keep it real. I'm still going to keep it a buck. And I'm not bound down to anything of today's society ever. And put that in your pipe and smoke it. And tell whoever you over there who over there on that other platform. I ain't gonna mention your name on here. That's what you want me to do. But tell that person over there on the platform he can come over here. I'm more than welcome. I'm more than welcome. I'll take any kind of smoke. I'll welcome it. But one thing you ain't gonna do over here is disrespect legends. Period. Let's go to Kendall Gill. He was all NCAA, all region. He was consistent All American. He was a 1989-90 All Big Team, and he went to Illinois. He got drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in the 5th overall pick in the 1990 draft. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's go to Smitty, Steve Smith. He was NCAA All Region. He was consistent All American, and he was a 2-time All Big Ten. Now let's go to Stacey Ogman. NCAA champion, NCAA All Tournament, 2-time NCAA All Region team, consistent All American, 1988-89 Big West. All Big West, 2-time All Big West team, 3 times All Big West tournament team, 1987-88. Rookie of the Year and Big West tournament team. All Big West tournament. All right. And he got drafted by Atlanta Hawks, the Plastic Man. Now, let's go to Shaquille O'Neal. He was a high school parade All-America 91 AP Player of the Year. He was a rope trophy winner, 3-time All-SEC, SEC All-Freshman, 2-time SEC All-Defense, and 2-time SEC Player of the Year, 2 times consensus All-America, and you have high school parade All-America. Okay, for Shaq. You know, he got drafted the 1st round pick out of the Orlando Magic. Now we're going to go to Kenny Anderson, one of my favorite point guards. When I was growing up, he was NCAA All Region team, consensus All-American, 1990 All-ACC, high school parade All-America, 2-time All-ACC, and he was 89-90 ACC Rookie of the Year. I never forget when he sat there and shook Bobby Hurley. I think it was on Big Monday. Matter of fact, that's when Big Monday presented by Bud Light at the time. Man, he crossed Bobby Hurley up, man. Dick Vitale almost went out of his seats. All right. Now let's go to Kenny Anderson. Oh, I did Kenny Anderson. Let me go to I did do Kenny Anderson. Let me go to LJ, the grandmama. This is his accolades in college. He was an NCAA champion. Should have been 2 times, but they cheated. They cheated them though. I don't care what nobody say. They cheated them when they played Duke. They were trying to vie for undefeated season, and they lost to the semifinals that year. All right, NCAA champion, NCAA All Tournament team, high school parade All American. He was a Wood Award winner, 2-time Big West Player of the Year, 2 times All Big West Tournament team, 2-time NCAA All Region, 2-time consensus All American, Naismith Award winner, 2-time All Big West, and 2-time Big West Tournament team. And he got drafted by the Charlotte Hornets in the 1991 NBA draft. It's kind of interesting with Larry Johnson because my older sister and her best friend used to go to school because Larry Johnson's family was in the military, and he went to one of the high schools that my older sister went to his senior year, but we was in Germany at the time. But yeah, it's crazy, man. LJ was a beast. That dude was a monster. Let's go to Jim Jackson. NCAA All Region team, high school parade All-America, 2-time consensus All-American, 2-time Big Ten Player of the Year, 1989 Big Ten Rookie of the Year, and he was 2-time All Big Ten. He got drafted by the Dallas Mavericks, 4th pick in the 1992 draft. Let's go back here. I'm almost finished, y'all. I'm gonna get through what I need to get through to be keeping it strictly on college. If you ain't seen these players playing college basketball, we're not talking about NBA. We are talking about college 90s basketball. Period. All right. Now let's go to um, Harold Miner. Baby Jordan, he was consensus All-American, 1991, 92, Pac-10 Player of the Year, Pac-12 All-Freshman Team, 89, 90, Pac-10 Rookie of the Year. He was a three-time All-Pac-12 performer. Okay. Now we're going to go to Christian Laettner. Two-time NCAA champion, two-time All-NCAA tournament team, NCAA tournament most outstanding player, 91, 92, AP Player of the Year. He was Wooden Award winner, Rupp Trophy, three times All-ACC, ACC tournament MVP, four-time All-NCAA All-Region, High School Parade All-America, two-time Consensus All-America, Naismith Award winner, 91, 92, ACC Player of the Year, and four-time All-ACC tournament. That's why I understand why some people say that he is, because he did stay 4 years and everything. But and shout out to my boy Vaughn, man, the basketball prophet, man. But he sat there and it reminded me something too. We were talking about Christian Laettner. When he was able to get on a good team, he blossomed. So I didn't think he was a bust at all. I don't think nobody's a bust when they make it to the NBA. That's first of all. You know what I mean? So y'all dudes sitting there listening to Stephen A. Snitch. Y'all dumbing in the bus of rods just like his hairline is. But moving right along. Oh, how can I forget Billy Owens? One of my favorite players growing up. Billy Owens was cold. He was NCAA All-Region, Consensus All-America, two-time All-Big East performer, High School Parade All-America, 1990-91 Big East Player of the Year, Big East All-Freshman. So much better. Okay. All right. Let me continue going on here. Almost finished. I'm gonna drop the link, and then we gonna this is just college basketball. We ain't talking about no NBA. I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. It's gonna be college basketball. If you ain't watched these college basketball and all this other stuff, we talk about college in the 90s. I'm gonna do 2000s from 2000 2010 on Wednesday, and then on Thursday I will be doing my part 3 series of the 80s, and then the next following week I will be doing the 70s. All right, so okay, we're gonna go to Anthony Peeler. He was a high school parade All-America, Consensus All-American. He was a 91, 92 Big 8 Player of the Year, and a 15th overall pick to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let's go to Don McClain. He was a high school parade All-America, three-time All-America, All Pac-12, 1988-89 Pac-10 Rookie of the Year. He was consensus All-America, Pac-12 All-Freshman. If he would have played in this era, he'll kill. Don McClain was nasty in college. Like, I don't know. That's what I've been trying to tell y'all, man. I've been trying to tell you this all the time, man. But y'all don't like to listen. So, as my dad used to say, as the old folks used to tell me, a soft head make a soft behind. You know what I mean? Y'all don't like to do y'all due diligence and everything like that. Me, my era, and the people that's older than me, we respected all generations, every single one of them, even if you didn't like to. Not everybody I know that was very disrespectful to the old generations and everything like that, that was hard-headed, they're not living on this earth no more. And that's a fact. But moving right along, I went too far. Okay, now I did Don McClain. Wow, man. Oh, okay, Don McClain, Byron Houston, Malik Sealy. Malik Sealy. He was an NCAA Region Team, High School Parade All America, Consensus All America, Big East, 3-time Big East All Freshman Team, 1992 All Big East Tournament Team. Rest in peace to the St. John's legend. Malik Sealy. He got drafted by the Indiana Pacers, 14th pick. Okay, then we just gonna go to one of my favorite players, man. In the early 90s was Walt Wizard. He was 6'8", can do it all. Score, handle, dribble, shoot the three, point guard, no matter. He was a consensus All-American, 91-92 All-ACC, and 1992 All-ACC Tournament Team. Okay, let's move right along. Let's go to Terry DeHare, one of my favorite players for Seton Hall in the early 90s. He was All NCAA All Region, Consensus All American, 3-time All Big East All Freshman Team, Big East Tournament MVP, 2-time All Big East Tournament, 1992 Big East Player of the Year, and he was NCAA All Region Team. Okay, let's move right along. Rodney Rogers. He was a high school parade All-America, Consensus All-American, 1992 ACC Player of the Year, 1992 All-ACC Tourney, Consensus All-American, 3-time All-ACC, 1990-91 ACC Rookie of the Year. Isaiah Ryder, JR. Consensus All-American, 1992-93 Big West Player of the Year, 1993 All-Big West Team, 2-time All-Big West. He was consensus All-American. Out of Oakland, California. Y'all need to look up. Kevin Garnett did an interview with him. Y'all need to go check that out, man. As well, man. Okay, let me sit there. Okay, I did Isaiah Ryder. Let's go to Grant Hill. Grant Hill was a 2-time NCAA champion, 2-time All-NCAA Tournament Team, NCAA Region, 2-time Consensus All-America, 3-time All-ACC, 3-time All-ACC Tournament Team, 93-94 ACC Player of the Year, and he was a high school parade All-American. Okay, then we're going to go to Zoe. NCAA Region, 2-time Consensus All-America, 4-time All-Big East All-Freshman Team, Big East Tournament MVP, High School Parade All-America, 91-92 Big East Player of the Year, 3-time All-Big East Tournament Team, and 3-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year. And then for the people that want to know who won a championship all in those years, it goes as such. Then I'm going to drop the link and open it up. 89-90, it was Michigan, coached by Steve Fisher, who was an intern coach. They beat Seton Hall, and the coach for Seton Hall was PJ Colissimo, and that championship was in Seattle, Washington, in the Kingdom. And then it was 1990, it was UNLV, Derek Tarkanian. They beat Duke in the championship game, 103-73. Mike Krzyzewski, this was in Denver, Colorado, at Mickles Sports Arena. Then the next year was Mike Krzyzewski. They won 72-65 against Kansas. Ward Williams in the Hoosier Dome. The next year, Duke beat Michigan, the Fab Five, at the Metrodome, 71-51, 92-93. Dean Smith was the coach. Steve Fisher was the coach for the University of Michigan, 77-71. One of my favorite coaches in college basketball history that don't get his praise like he did when even he was living was Nolan Richardson. Rest in peace. They beat Duke 76-72 in the Charlotte Coliseum. Mike Krzyzewski was the coach. And then the next following year, they lost to the championship game to UCLA Jim Herrick, 89-78 in the Kingdome. Again in Seattle. 96, Rick Pitino beat Syracuse 76-67. Jim Boeheim at Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey. And then the next year, 97, Arizona, they beat Kentucky 84-79 at the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, Indiana. Kentucky beat Tubby Smith was the coach. They beat Utah 78-69. The late Rick Majerus at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. 99, Connecticut beat Duke 77-74. Mike Krzyzewski was the coach, and that was at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. That was when Richard Hamilton was the player of the game, most outstanding player of the game. Okay, now we're going to do, then you got Michigan State. They beat Florida, Billy Donovan, 89-76. And Billy Donovan was the coach. That was at the RCA Dome in Minneapolis. All right, so I'm going to drop the link. We're just going to talk about college. Please, we're just going to keep it on college. If you don't want to talk about, we're going to talk about college. We got to stay on topic. I ain't going to say it. I ain't going to say it anytime anymore. I will do the 2000s. I'm going to do the 2000s on Wednesday, and then I'm going to do the 1980s in the 80s. I'm going to be doing that on Thursday, and then the next following week I'll be doing the 70s. So y'all want to come on in and chop it up? If not, man, this show gonna be over, man. Salute to everybody in the building, man. I don't know who all in here, but salute to everybody. Salute Big Worm, salute Herm, the Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta, yeah, the Razorback, yeah, hey, man, the Razorbacks was, man, they had some squads, even in the 80s with Lee Mayberry and man, and Razorbacks had some, man, Nolan Richardson could coach, man. He was, but you already know how it is with black coaches, man. John Thompson as well. They always make it seem like the white coaches could just coach better than the black coaches, but Nolan Richardson has some squads. That 40 feet of hell, they the one that started that shit, pressing you full court all game long. All game long. And what I also remember about the 90s with the Fab Five, man, I felt like they got cheated, though. You know, they didn't want them boys to win the championship, and then they started coming out. They did this and they did that, but it's just amazing that certain institutions, you know what I'm saying, they'll never get hooked with violations and all this other stuff, but that's neither here or there. But the people that know what time it is, you know what I'm talking about. I can remember the 90s with them. I remember that run with Arizona. Kansas had some good squads with Ward Williams, but they never got a chance to get it done. I think their best team they had was Jock Vaughn, Billy Thomas, Jock Vaughn. I said Jock Vaughn, Billy Thomas, Ray LaFrance, Scott Pollard, and they had Paul Pierce. And I forgot that one shooter that they had too. Man, I can't forget his name. Cause he hurt his wrist. He hurt his wrist that year and came back, and he wasn't the same player and everything like that either, man. Jeff Boshi, I think that was his name. Man, but salute to everybody, man. Y'all don't want to come here and chop it up college basketball, and then y'all let me know y'all ain't no real college basketball fans, man. Y'all ain't no real college basketball fans. I'm just saying. I'm just the NBA. It's watered down to me. I mean, it's watered down, and I mean it's watered down. So I dropped the link. Y'all don't want to come up in here, man. I'm just gonna say my last little bit of piece here and everything like that. I'll give about 10 minutes, man, and then no one want to come in and chop it up. That's fine. Cause I ain't gonna be out hanging out with y'all cats all night, man. Cause I gotta get up work up. I gotta get up and work in the morning. So you feel me? So, but that's just a little bit taste in the '90s. I know, my big bro. I know he probably been busy and everything like that. Can't come here and talk about college basketball and stuff, man. But I'll give about 10 more minutes. I remember that boy too. Arizona had some squads back then too. Lou Olson, rest in peace. He had some squads too in the '90s. I can remember UMass. Like I say, UMass with Marcus Camby. Them boys was nasty with Edgar Padilla and Trevor Yesso. Them boys, man, them boys was nasty, man. I remember Lou Rowe. I remember when that black coach was that Bruiser Flint, I think his name was, when he took over UMass. Man, Lou Rowe was nice. Man, I'm telling you, '90s was just a great era in college. I know I'm saving the best ones for last for the '80s and the '70s, but if you didn't, y'all think college. I know a lot of people is not interested in college basketball, but that's why I follow college. That's why I know so much about these players and their careers because I watched them play in college. Georgetown, Carolinas, Michigan, Arkansas, UCLA, Arizona, Michigan, Illinois, Seton Hall. That's when Seton Hall was always in the mix. Seton Hall always had a nice squad. Villanova always was prevalent back then too. Um, then you had University of Rhode Island, and then you had Michigan State, Indiana with Bobby Knight. Then you had University of Missouri with Lawrence Stewart was the coach there. Then you had Coach Billy Tubbs coaching University of Oklahoma. With Stacey King and them, and rest in peace to Nate. What's that? Tisdale and Mookie Blaylock. And man, I could just name. This is all off the dome right here too, man. So the '90s was a nice time to be watching college basketball. Because back then, the Big East was dominating. They was dominating, but then everybody else started making the names for themselves and everything like that. Like the Big Eight was always prevalent, but it ain't. But now it's the Pac-12. Now it's the Big 12. You know what I mean? Now it's just now it is. I noticed that every decade is just everybody had a certain time. Back then in the '90s, anybody could get it from the ACC, won championships, the Big Ten won championships, the Pac-12, the SEC won championships, and you look in the 2000s. Yeah, now I'll do the 2000s. That's gonna be the next one. So I'm gonna wait about 10 more minutes, man. I'm about to get up out of here. No one I want to come in here and talk about college basketball in the past. No problem. I'm just gonna keep it moving right along, man. No, I ain't see the Kansas game. I already knew Kansas was gonna lose, man. This is one thing. Iowa State is always it's all at the Hilton Arena. Man, I already knew they was gonna lose that game. I already knew that it's hard to win at Iowa State. That's just period. You can just look it up in Ames. That's even way back when Fred Hoiberg was there. And it was Kansas always struggled at Iowa State. That's just a fact. They always do. Now that there's only a few times I can remember in my lifetime they've won. That's when they had Tayshawn Taylor and them boys there at the time when they won the games. I think that year they went to the national championship and they lost to Kentucky. And everybody was talking about 2012 Kentucky team was the best team, was the symbol. And y'all know anything about college basketball. That Kentucky team couldn't fuck with them Arkansas Razorback teams. Man, look at all the teams that won the championship in the 90's. And Kentucky ain't got nothing on and Kentucky ain't got nothing. Back in 2012, Kentucky team had nothing on the teams in the past against Arizona, Mike Bibby and Eric Dickerson and Jason Terry. And oh man, and man, no. That 2012 no. Matter of fact, yeah, 2012 they did win a championship, but they wasn't better than with Marcus Camby and Edgar Padilla and Luis Travieso, man. They wasn't even better than that squad. But although they did win a championship, but still, they couldn't fuck with that squad. They couldn't fuck with none of the teams in the 90's. And that's a fact. That's a fact. They couldn't fuck with none of them boys in the 90's. All the teams that won the championship in the 90's, they couldn't fuck with them. That's just my opinion. But y'all new age generation, that's what y'all think. That's what y'all think. But then y'all gotta think about something too. Basketball's played totally different now. It's another thing I love about college though too. You still see teams that feature a big man play high, play inside out. You know what I mean? That's what I love about the college game. They don't diminish the big guy now. But I think one thing that's ruined the college game, though, in my opinion, is transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? You made an obligation, you signed a letter of intent, you should honor your contract. But now these players, if they ain't happy, they can just go somewhere else the next following year. But I'm not even gonna hold y'all long. Nobody want to come in here and chop it up. That's fine. I'm gonna be out of here, man. Like, share, subscribe. I'll be on Wednesday. Peace. I have faith in my team, but one thing Kansas is missing in my team I didn't think Kansas, first of all, I didn't think Kansas was going to be this good this year. Honestly, I thought they lost a lot. I thought they lost way too much. But hey, when you play in your conference where everybody know how to play you and everything like that, I think it happens. This year's team, whoever gonna win in this conference in the Big 12, well, I think it's the best conference in college basketball. It's not even fucking close to me. I think it's the Big 12, then I think it's the Big 10. Then I have to say Pac-12, maybe, or the SEC, which one you ever want to throw in there. The Big East is good this year as well. But when you play in a conference, when everybody knows what you're gonna do, but hey, you win and you lose some, man. But hey, they did split the series. They did split the season series with Iowa State, and they did split the season series with Kansas State. So all the teams that they lost to TCU. I noticed something too. When Kansas lose, there's a lot of turnovers. They're very careless with the ball and all this other stuff. When Kansas lose, they lose bad like that. I guarantee it's because of turnovers. But Jalen Wilson, I can't take nothing away from what he's doing. But if anybody that can figure it out, it's the coach of Kansas, and I respect him to the utmost because he did brought 2 chips there. And even though Roy Williams is very loved still to this day to Kansas, man, but he did something that Roy Williams couldn't do, was win the title. But I'm not knocking Roy Williams for not bringing them, because when it comes to the tournament and stuff, it's all about matchups. It's all about matchup, style of play, point guard play. If you had great guard play and everything like that, you're gonna win some tournament To me, and then the Big 12, I won't be surprised the Big 10, but the Big 12 winner has 6 losses. I've seen it in the past. I've seen Kansas in the past won all Big 12, um, won the Big 12 with 6 losses. You know what I'm saying? Because you play, it's a round robin. You play every team twice in the conference. So we just gonna see, man. I got faith in them, man. It's the Big 12, man. Hey, there was a stretch where Kansas won like 15 straight Big 12 titles, 15 or 16, or they shared it with Baylor. You know what I mean? So hey, this gonna be crazy for college basketball. I'm gonna be upset that I ain't gonna be able to watch the game tomorrow, but I'll be able to watch the game tomorrow between UConn and but I still think South Carolina is the best team in the country. That's just me. I know LSU girls is coming. They in the same conference as well. So they got something to say. But I think the best 3 teams in college basketball on the women's side, I gotta throw Caitlin Clark Iowa team in there too. Cause they think them. Um, gotta go with the champions. And I gotta go with the runner up in Stanford, and then I go LSU and Caitlin Clark and Iowa. Then the best 4 teams I've seen this year. Now last year we didn't have that. We didn't have that. Salute, man. Salute, Mike. Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I've been on here long enough. Nobody want to come in and chop up college basketball, but if it was NBA, everybody be all up in here talking their shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a college head. Let me get back to this college basketball, man. I got to get up early in the morning, go to work anyway. So I'll be back on Wednesday. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.